college, and she was a mentor to me. She's probably a nursing professor for some of you students. She played a pivotal role while I was teaching at the college. Dr. McKelvey was also teaching at University of Hartford when I was a graduate student, and she was also pretty instrumental, not just at that point, but later on. First of all, I want to introduce myself. I'm Maria Lisboa. I am Puerto Rican. My parents came from Puerto Rico at a very young age. I believe my mother was 19 years old, and my father was about 22 years old. So they came here from Puerto Rico, like many Hispanics, with very little formal education. Came, like many immigrants did, for a better life. America was the place to come if you wanted to, be able to climb up the corporate ladder or just move up the social ladder in society. Because of the fact that they had no formal education, they were very hard workers. My father, because he had no education, was a tobacco farm laborer, and he worked there for many years. My mom would have to get up at 4:30 in the morning to make his meals. That was 7 days a week, because again, when you don't have an education and you're new to the country, you get work wherever you can get it. My mother worked very hard as well. She worked in factories. That's the type of work that you can get when you don't have an education. And she also worked as a home health aide, which is basically cleaning other people's homes and helping them when they're sick. And so my parents, although they had no formal education, they had very strong work ethics. And even though financially they weren't able to provide us with much, they offered us other things that were more priceless. I became an RN. I decided to become an RN for a couple of reasons. One, my parents, it was hard to see my parents work really hard for a little bit of money. And it was very hard to see them struggle working many different jobs and getting nowhere. And because we grew up as poor ethnic minorities, we were confronted with unique obstacles that the traditional, or what was known as the traditional college student, didn't have to face. And when I first started nursing, the traditional college student was Caucasian, between the ages of 18 and 24, still living at home, suburbia, middle class. That's now changing. You may or may not know there's a huge demographic shift in our nation. As the chair of the department mentioned to you, she shared some statistics. We are quickly becoming a global society. And there are many things that are happening at this point in history which I am so excited to be a part of. It is phenomenal to be in a position where you're actually witnessing history as it unfolds. Again, I told you my background is Puerto Rican. I have been an RN for over 18 years. I received my BSN at the Elms, Our Lady of the Elms in Chicopee, Mass. It was very difficult as a Latina when I went to college my first year. Most Hispanics or Latino collegians are first-generation college goers. That's very difficult. As you know, for those of you that are students, college is difficult, period. But when you add other obstacles that you have to confront with, sometimes on a daily basis, it makes it that much more difficult. In college, it was very hard to fit in. I remember sitting in class and looking at my professor, my one professor who was Hispanic, who happened to be Puerto Rican, and it was my very first year at the community college. I was very excited. I remember looking around thinking, where are the other Hispanic nurses? Where are the other students of color? Everybody looks the same, nobody looks like me. So it was very nice to be able to go to community college where there was a professor who actually looked like me. And she, to this day, has no idea that she played a pivotal role in my life. It was nice to see someone in the faculty, the nursing faculty, who looked like me, because